Perfect. So I'll just quickly share my screen and here we go. So welcome everyone to this Saturdays for Sustainability Learning initiative where we are connecting every week to understand sustainability topic with some new insight, with some new point of view. And the goal is very simple, the holistic understanding of sustainability, and which is only possible with nuggets with the inputs from all of us. So no one person can be an expert in sustainability as such. So support from each other would be required in such a dynamic field. So I would like to call this as a mastermind group. If you already know about the concept, so this is the same concept that was majorly put forth by Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich. So it's nothing but peer-to-peer mentoring group. We help each other to solve the problems, and it's advice and inputs from other group members. So all are experts. So that is what I view it as. And the mastermind group is based on the concept of synergy, and it's very simple. Generally, we tend to think that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, but in concept of synergy, there are infinite possibilities. So that's what are the possibilities of learning for all of us when two minds come together. So definitely that's it's like a third invisible intangible force. So we would like to create that intangible more than the sum of two for our better learning and understanding the topics. So with this intent, there are four outcomes that you can expect. First is learning one new concept every week, networking with fellow professionals, then getting to know about different learning opportunities, career opportunities. And fourth is the thought leadership, because we want to steer the sustainability initiative in India and in the world, how it is going forward. So it's dependent on our collective wisdom as well. So we want to steer in that direction. So the plan is very simple. We connect every Saturday for 60 minutes, and it's a discussion, majorly question and answer. So this is my personal opinion that best way to learn is a questions and discussion instead of just reading or watching videos. So it's better to have a two-way communication, discussion, questions, and that's way we can learn. And second, very important thing that I believe is in today's time, we have a lot of data and information, or it is more than enough for us to consume. But what we lack is the knowledge and wisdom. How do we apply that in our context? So that is something that we are missing. And with this initiative, with people from different educational, cultural, geographical, social, different backgrounds, so they can share their experience, the practical application of these concepts. So that's way we can gain more knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so this is in short about this initiative. If you are new to this, and I hope you have received this link either through WhatsApp group or through your calendar invite. But please make sure if you haven't registered, so please do register so that this you will get a seamless invite for the next sessions as well. All right, so with this short introduction, let me just quickly share with you with today's session. It's week 35 for us, 9th March 2024, and today's topic is interesting in view of currently all the organizations, and not only organizations, I would say, different institutions like NGOs or government agencies or private organizations. So all are celebrating National Safety Week from 4th to 3rd of March 2024. And this year's peculiarity is they are focusing on ESG. And one of the letter that I saw regarding this National Safety Week, they mentioned Sustainable Development Goal number 9 in their letter. So that makes us two common point to discuss today, which is first is ESG, sustainability, and sustainable development goals. So I'll just quickly share with you one short presentation. I'll hardly take 10 to 15 minutes, and I hope I request everyone, please, if you have any question, anything you can add, please definitely do it, because I don't consider myself as an expert into this field. I'm a student, I'm a learner, and so please feel free to jump in wherever you can contribute. All right, so perfect. So today's discussion would be on the common points or the relationship between the sustainability ESG and the safety EHS, which is an integral part of all the organizations. And it is in view of currently we are celebrating National Safety Week from 4th to 10th March, and National Safety Day is celebrated every year on 4th of March. Okay. Perfect. And this year's theme, which is focus on safety leadership for ESG excellence. So they have interrelated these two things, ESG excellence and safety leadership. So we today would like to explore more how the EHS, that is environmental health and safety, in any organization can contribute towards ESG excellence. So how that can happen and how do we better it? So that is something that we would like to explore today. All right, so I'll just quickly explain what is the context of National Safety Day. If you don't know it, I'll just quickly cover. Okay, so this is National Safety Day. This is a campaign spearheaded by the council since 1971 to mark it Foundation Day, which is 4th of March. So every year it is celebrated, and the purpose is spreading safety awareness in all the sectors. Okay, and it's a comprehensive, general, and flexible. So these are the three keywords you can look: comprehensive, general, and flexible. So it's not a something as a rigid that okay, so this is the only way you can celebrate this National Safety Week. No, it's comprehensive, means it can be applied to different kind of organizations. It's general, it's flexible. You can choose what activity you want to follow in your organization. That's completely up to you. It's customizable. So every organization is expected to develop the specific activities as per their requirement. Okay, all right. And this was the letter that I was telling you. So I'll just quickly share this letter with you also. Okay, I hope you can see it on screen. Just a minute. Perfect. So I hope you can see this letter. National Safety Council has issued this letter on 2nd of February 2024 to all the members. This is the 53rd National Safety Day campaign commencing from 4th of March. Okay. So this is just a short information that we have already seen. Okay. But one point I wanted to highlight over here is this is widely celebrated by industry, trade union, government department, regulatory agency, NGO, institutions with active support of central and state government, and the media. So you can see it's a wide array of institutions that are expected to celebrate this National Safety Week. And the two things that are important with today's discussion that we are going to explore in this session, which are: first is, as you already know, UNDP, United Nations Development Program. We have adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. To keep the workers safe and protect the environment is reflected in goal number 9 of the SDGs. We will see these all goals within just next 5 minutes. But the goal number 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So NSC is National Safety Council. Okay, NSC aligns its activity towards SDG through its several initiatives and programs. So one way to look at it is how EHS, environmental health and safety, or the safety campaigns can align us to achieve the sustainable development goals. First thing. And second thing is, this year's theme, the objective of National Safety Day campaign is to help industries and other organizations to promote safety, health, and environment. Safety leadership plays a significant role in ESG excellence. To focus on safety leadership, this year we have derived the theme for NSD 2024 as focus on safety leadership for ESG excellence. So this is something, there's two things we want to explore in today's session. So this is letter as we have just seen. Okay. All right. So let's move ahead. So these are some of the important terms that we could see in this letter as I'm showing it on the presentation. I hope you can see presentation. Okay, great. So SDGs, that are Sustainable Development Goals. With its term, if you check how individual nations are contributing to SDGs, so that is nationally determined contributions, NDCs. Okay. Then third, ESG, and role of EHS into ESG excellence, or EHS leadership into ESG excellence. ESG is environmental safety and governance. Okay, perfect. So let's first move ahead with sustainable development goals. As you can see, so after Paris Agreement 2015, with the failure of MDGs, that is Millennium Development Goals, which were from 2000 to 2015, we could see that we couldn't achieve all the goals over there. So that's why in 2015, it was agreed that let us make a 17 goals with 169 indicators, targets. We set these goals for next 15 years, that is 2015 to 2030. And these are the 17 goals as you can see on the screen. Okay. So right, starting from no hunger, no poverty, then zero hunger to at last is peace, justice, and last is partnership for the goal, goal number 17. So we have different goals targeting different requirement of sustainable development, and then individual nations are expected to take up the improvement into these goals. And first, initially, they have to share NDCs, that is nationally determined contribution. So as a nation, what I would like to contribute to this, okay? So we will also see India's NDC and update to that. And after every 5 years, it is expected that a country will update what is their NDC, what is the progress over there. Okay. And as in this letter, you have seen goal number 9 was focus industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Because industry, infrastructure, so these are the keywords when we talk about the safety or when we talk about the environmental health and safety EHS departments of these organizations. So this is in short about SDG. If you don't have clarity on this, I'll just quickly, within a minute, we will just see from where this sustainable development goal came. So on the screen, you can see this is a resolution adopted by General Assembly on 25th September 2015, which is transforming our world, the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. So this need was felt to improve the situation of the world, and the one way to do it was set some ambitious goals. So 17 goals were set with 169 targets. Okay, and this was the first time that most of the countries from the world, so more than 192 countries, came together and signed this. Okay, yes, we want to do it. Okay, and this was with 5P principle, as you can see on the screen. So it was with people, planet, prosperity. These are the conventional 3 Ps, along with peace and partnership. So this is a really big question: how do we achieve peace in entire world, and how do we have partnerships that extend beyond the individual gains and interests? Okay, but these are the 5 Ps on which all these goals are based, and I'll just quickly share you where these goals are mentioned in this original document. Okay, so a lot of information is given in this. We'll just skip it for now. Yeah, on the screen you can see sustainable development goals. I'll just share some so that you will get an idea. As you can see, goal number 1 is end poverty in all its forms everywhere. In the same way, all the 17 goals are explained, and I'll just read goal number 9, which is build a resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. So important words are infrastructure development, right? So how do we build a resilient infrastructure, inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation? So for all this, we'll discuss how EHS can help. Okay, so these are the goals, and with each goal they have given some more details. So how do we achieve goal number 1? Okay, so there are some indicators. We will get to know that, okay, we have achieved this goal or not. All right, so coming back to SDGs, I'll just summarize what is given in the document. So these are the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. These are 17 goals as selected, and each country, as we discussed, has to submit the NDCs, that is national determined contribution. So for India, I'm just sharing on screen. So this is a NDC update by India in the year 2022. So it was expected after every 5 years, every country will update their NDC, that is national determined contribution. But due to COVID, there was a delay of 1 or 2 years for most of the countries. So that's fine, but it will happen regularly from now onwards. So this is India's update, as you can see. They have given what we have changed. So as you can see, we have brought in the mission life. So lifestyle for environment. This is one addition. This is updated, as you can see. Then to adopt climate friendly and cleaner path. So this is, as a country, as a India, we are committing to this. Maybe emission intensity, to reduce emission intensity of GDP by 45% by 2030. Then 50% electricity or renewable energy resources that we want to adopt. Then net zero is there. So there are many things that you can see in this NDC. But this is where we stand with sustainable development goals. So that's why I included it, because many times we get confused. So what is ESG, sustainability, and this role of different organizations and countries. So as of now, we got to know that all the countries are signatory and each nation has committed to improve on these 17 goals, okay, or sustainability performance. So now the role of organizations, where is the role of organization? So that comes here. I'll just quickly explain with this representation, this Venn diagram, and then please, if you have any question or anything you can add, please go ahead. So this is to understand how all these concepts stand together. Okay. So first I'll just take sustainability and sustainable development goals. So this is an overarching concept. Okay. Concept is very simple. We want to achieve sustainable development. What is it? We want to use resources in such a way that the resources for next generation are not extinct, so they can also use, they can also meet their own their needs in future. So this is very simple concept, all easy. But the problem is, how do we say that, okay, so this is a need for now which I can fulfill, okay, what is the best way to achieve the sustainability or sustainable development? So that is a big question. That's why here comes the ESG or sustainability reporting, because it's very clear, if we don't know where we stand now, we cannot improve. It's very common in business terms, like what we measure that we can improve, otherwise it's not possible, right? So with the ESG, that is environmental, social and governance, and at the same time the BRSR, which is for India, okay, so this is a sustainability framework. To achieve the objective of sustainability or sustainable development goals, organizations need to contribute. And how they contribute? Through environmental, social, and governance at all the three levels, right? So that there is no harmful impact in the long run. So that is something that we all understand. This is important. Now the question is, everyone is saying that yes, we want to contribute, we will contribute to sustainability, but how do we compare different two organizations, whether they are contributing properly or not? How do we have an apple to apple comparison? So that is the point. And that's why the BRSR comes into picture, or different standards or framework comes into picture. It is to standardize the process of achieving balance into this ESG, and these are the framework standards or protocols. These have come, so I have written BRSR as a representative for that, so it comes under this. This is a finer version of maybe ESG or sustainability. BRSR is one such framework in India, and with the SEBI's mandate, all top 1000 listed companies are mandated to report their performance in this format. All right, now let's come to the, we have reached up to BRSR, okay. So it's understandable that we all agree sustainability is important. We have to contribute to environment, social, and governance. For that, we have set up the framework, we have set up the standard, the process, how to do it. But actually, when we talk about the implementation of the sustainability initiatives, then EHS is a core thing that comes into it's a core contributor. The reason being, environmental health and safety, it can contribute through the groundwork, and in two ways. First is identification of the proper improvement opportunities, and second is the implementation. uh, EHS plays an important role in this way. So I'll again explain this in next slide, but I hope this makes a sense. If anybody would like to comment on this, or if we can improve this model of this mental model, I would say. So if you'd like to contribute anything to this, please go ahead. Anybody, please. If you have anything to add, you can please. If not, I'll take it as no and we can move ahead. Okay, perfect. But I hope this is clear at this point. Does this make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for the response. Yes, and now let's explore more the role of EHS into the sustainability or ESG. And this is a paragraph from the letter that was issued by Safety Council. There's focus on safety leadership for ESG excellence. So they want to explore this. Okay, so let's try to understand the entire ESG process now. And as I visualizes, and maybe you can add to it, okay, if you think the same way or there is some variation. But the first thing, whenever we talk about the ESG reporting or ESG excellence, this is a sequential logical step that will follow. First, ESG planning. So there may be a top management which will think that, okay, so yes, we need to report on the ESG framework, and ESG planning or leadership team will be there. Then second, ESG implementation is something that data collection or data analysis. Then how do we report it? Which are the key factor? Double materiality assessment. So whether all these topics are material to us or not. Stakeholder engagement would be there. So this is a core implementation phase. And at the end, the reporting part, which is I'm restricting to just reporting with the given frameworks, okay, and updating it. Okay, all right. So these are the three steps, and if we improve on all these three fronts, then only the ESG excellence can come, right? And after reporting also, it's not ESG is not a short-term activity which can be completed, let's say in 3 months, 6 months, or in a year. It's a continuous improvement into the environmental, social, and governance parameters. Then ESG implementation has very important role in terms of where are the improvement opportunities and how do we stick to let's say long-term benefit, which is sustainability or sustainable development. So here EHS is major contributor. The reason being, if we want to if we want to implement these ESG principles, the understanding of the ESG to all the stakeholders, and as environmental EHS, environment, health, and safety, which plays a very important role in terms of let's say social and environmental parameters in terms of the ESG, right? So I want to explain this with one more example, as we generally do, a common example. So I'll take an example of any coursework. So let's say you want to get any certification, or if you want to correlate with your college or university, so you can do that. Let's say we want to complete one course. We have selected the course, okay? So ESG planning can be compared to a course selection. So where you set your intention, okay, so you want to complete this course. Why you select that course? There are some reasons, right? You want to achieve something, and that's why you selected this course. So this comes into planning. How do you plan to study? What is the time availability or not? Whether the course is on weekend or weekdays. So all that come into the planning phase or course selection. Then the important part is we want to study. We want to understand the concept. The hard work will be there. There are no shortcuts, right? So we want to we have to study all the concepts, and then whether that is a final assessment or assignment, or whether it is final written exam, you have to write it well. Okay, even if you have studied really very hard, the course selection, the planning was perfect, but if you fail to write in final exam or you fail to write in the assessment, you will fail, right? You will not get the results that you expected. So excellent results require all these three things. First is proper course selection, whether that is really important for you or not, right? Then you have to study, work hard on the ground, right? You have to improve the your understanding for the topic, and then you have to write final exam in a really nice way, so that you will get excellent results. So I would like to compare it with the ESG excellence, and I hope you can see the similarity between these two. In the same way, the ESG excellence, that is the topic of this year or the theme of this year. If you want to achieve the ESG excellence, it is going, the major contributing process would be a proper planning, where top management maybe are really interested into doing some groundwork. They want to improve the process. They are hiring the right kind of people, giving them not only responsibility but authority as well, giving them the required resources, a proper training, proper understanding of different topics. Then the implementation phase, where you take up the work of, let's say, understanding where exactly we stand, what are the improvement opportunities, understanding, getting into proper stakeholder engagement, okay, and then the ESG reporting. And unfortunately, as of now today, so major focus is on ESG reporting for all of us, and uh, that's normal, I would say, for the initial time being, because this has been mandated recently. So reporting would be on more focus for today, but definitely if you want to achieve the ESG excellence, you would agree that uh, proper ESG implementation and proper planning. So this has also equal importance with reporting as study and hard work is. So EHS, that is environmental health and safety personnel, which work on ground, they are the major stakeholder to identify where are the gaps. They are the major stakeholder into governance as well. So whether an organization is reporting all this in a right way or not, whether all the standard practices are being followed or not. So this is really a key aspect. If EHS takes lead into this, so definitely that will contribute to the ESG excellence. So this is something that I could get from this ESG and EHS. Okay, all right. So that is all from my side. Okay. So please, now it's open for discussion. Please, you can add your viewpoints, or if you like to share anything on this, please go ahead.
Dhananjay, this is Riaz. How
Yes, Riyaji, please.
BRSR is different with ESG?
Okay, so you're asking the question that whether BRSR is different from ESG, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. So this is something, just a minute. I'll just go to previous slide. Okay. So let's understand this. I hope the screen is visible, right? Venn diagram is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. So when we talk about what are the difference between ESG and BRSR, okay. So ESG is something, it talks about you want to improve in environmental, social, and governance. All three, let's say, in all these three fronts, we want to improve. Now the question is, let's say we want to compare two organizations which are reporting on ESG. Okay. Now we should have apple to apple comparison, right? So there should be some standard process, or there should be some guideline through which both parties or both the organizations are doing in a similar way, right? That's why some standard or some framework is required, and which one of which is a BRSR. BRSR is a framework that is in India. So SEBI, that is Securities Exchange Board of India. So this is mandated for all top 1000 companies to report their ESG performance with BRSR standard, BRSR framework. So BRSR has given, let's say, there is a format of how BRSR report should be, right? So what are the different parameters that we want to capture? So I'll just quickly share that also on the screen, okay? So that we can check it. Just a minute. But BRSR is one of the framework to report the ESG. So that is in short answer. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, Dhananjay, some extent.
Okay, 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 great. So I'll just quickly share this BRSR format. Okay. So there are many different formats and or different standards or different frameworks that are available. Some of them, let's say, for example, is GRI, Global Reporting Initiative. So global reporting, under global reporting initiative, they have their own way how a company can report. But currently the problem was, means before BRSR, in Indian context, there are different formats, there are different frameworks. So someone is using, let's say, GRI, some other organization is using some different format or different standard. So it becomes really difficult, and that's why SEBI mandated all the companies, all the organizations from India to report on BRSR. And I would say BRSR is one of the format where all the best things from these reporting standards are taken, and it's not mutually exclusive. Means it's not like if you do a GRI, it will be completely different compared to BRSR. It's not there. Even there are many common points into different these reporting formats, but there are some let's say frameworks which are more suitable for particular kind of organization or particular region. Okay. So BRSR is one of them, and in this, as you can see on the screen, this is annexure 1 of the BRSR format, where they have given, there are three sections into this. Section 1 is general disclosure. Here the basic details of the organizations are given. Okay, so what is the product, how they are, let's say, earning their revenue, in short, what are the operations, where they are serving their customers. Okay, employee details of employee as per financial year, how many are permanent, how many are other than permanent, then also how many are person with disability, differentially able employees. So all details are captured into it. Turnover for permanent employees. Okay, so this concludes the first part, and also CSR details are also captured over here in BRSR. As CSR under Companies Act is a mandatory for all the organizations, right? So uh, all the as per the Companies Act 2013, CSR rules 2014, so it is mandatory. Okay, so that details are also captured in this, and also the ESG report or the BRSR report is called as non-financial report. The reason being, financially anyway that is being taken care by the Companies Act, or every year the CA and CFO has to do it. So that is being strictly monitored. But this kind of reports also give us uh, non-financial reporting, non-financial details as well, which are equally important for us. And under this report, as you can see, the grievance redressal mechanism is there or not. So what is the way how they are addressing the grievances? Okay, so this is all about section 1. Then section B is management and process disclosure. So there are 9 principles under NGRBC. Okay, national governance rules. So this were I'll just need to check the full form, but this were responsible business conduct principles. So these were the 9 principles were shared
Yes.
before that. Okay,
Yes. It's National
yeah.
Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct.
Yes, thanks. National Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct, NGRBC. So these are the 9 principles, and under which they are sharing, they are asking the organizations to share what is their, whether they have these policies or not. And the reason policies are important, because just saying that, okay, so we will contribute to the SDGs or we will contribute to this principle, it's not enough. You have to integrate it into your organization's normal way of working, and that's the only way to have a sustained improvement. And that's why these ESG reporting frameworks, and if we take the BRSR as an example, so as you can see, this has tried to standardize this entire process. Okay, so under each principle, every company has to report, so how they are contributing to this principle. Okay, so there are, this is a format, so every organization has to fill it, and they have to update or submit it to SEBI. Okay, I hope this makes it clear, but please, if anybody would like to share or add something to the question, please, you can.
Yes, I can give a bit of insights if you don't mind.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So as discussed, like as Dhananjay was speaking, so technically in the document there are also essential indicators and there are leadership indicators. So it depends, like the organizations are supposed to report all over the essential indicators. If you can just display the document. Uh, can you allow me to screen share?
Yeah. Just a minute.
It
I have
would be great.
put it
I will
out.
show actual report of BRSR.
You can share now.
Yes, great. Just give me a second. Yeah. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes. So this is. I'll show you this ONGCs. It's much better and clearer to understand also. Yeah. So this is ONGC's BRSR report. So as you can see, like Dhananjay had showed the outline, but the companies can design it in whatever format and they have to disclose it generally. So all of the stuff it's disclosed over here. And coming to the essentials indicator and leadership indicators, just give me a sec. Come to it. Yes. So here you can see it's written as essential indicators. So these indicators, like whatever indicators are below it, so they are actually technically mandatory to report. And even if like you don't have it, So you can either say it like, no, we don't have it, but in some cases, I don't know if here it will be there or not, but there are examples in this whole report. If some cases, if you don't have the reporting, then you have to give reasons also why you don't have those things, like why are you not things. Very justifiable and reasonable answers like are required for that also. And then there are leadership indicators also under the same part. So right now, I guess we are going through the essentials only. Yeah. So now this comes as leadership. So these are not mandatory, but in case if you have done, it's really great to share. And what this shows is like how like leadership basically, like how good are you in your like basically how good your company is, or like how sustainable your company is. Although not mandatory, but if you are taking steps, then you are really doing great. So that's how a company is supposed to report like about its responsible businesses. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Hope it helps.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. So this is an effort, we can say, just to see whether an organization is really serious or not, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because generally we tend to speak a lot as a organization, but do
Yes.
very little. So it's better to see what we do and
Right.
judge accordingly. So maybe this reporting frameworks are also doing the same. And at least with the mandatory reporting and the let's say uh, like a leadership indicator. So these are not mandatory. So they are if an organization is working in that way, so they can share, and this is an opportunity for them to take leadership into this, make themselves better on the ground, and it's a proud moment for them also. If they are improving something, definitely they would like to share, and others can follow them.
And add to this, Siddesh and Dhananjay, now there is a validation from third parties also required.
Yes.
So in my organization, we are in process for validation. So I'm one of the part of our energy related stuff. So thought to get more insights, and thanks Siddesh and Dhananjay, clarify most of my point.
Mhm.
No need of thanks. I'm glad to help you always. So, like coming to the validation, I I would like to tell you, yeah, like the assurance part. Like I recently attended the first global summit of ESG advancement, which was in Delhi, which was organized by PhD CCI and UNGC Network India. So over there, like I will just give you a gist, like what even the BRS are where it is headed, like how India is going to look forward. So as we know, like Europe taxonomy is already there and they are really serious about it. But India, like everywhere ESG is developing, but India is just it's a like initial phase. So BRSR is a very like I can say a consolidated thing. But the legalities and policies are going to develop and they are going to be much stringent. Right now, almost the top 150 companies they have to get an assurance from like a third party, as you said. So they need to verify, okay, so that the report, whatever reports they have done, so it's not just about like, okay, they have reported numbers, but it should be assured like, okay, this report or this audit has been like proven right on grounds also. Because a lot of companies are going towards the part of greenwashing. So to avoid that, we are going towards that. And and the discussion in the summit, it was like BRSR will be like not only like mandatory for the top thousands or like the listed ones, but it's going to expand till 2027 financial year. And definitely the assurance will be compulsory for maximum of the participants. So the, it's better to like get a validation or assurance right from the beginning. So even the like investors or even you stakeholders or shareholders, whoever are, they gain confidence in you. So it will be really great if you start that initiative right now. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So this is in a way we can say that it's required because you also get an assurity, right? So it's not only what you say, because if I say that my product is better, or if only I say that my work is better or it's good, so there are some issues, right? So if other people see and tell them, and which are competent okay, so this work is really good and they have done some good work. So then only that, I guess, appreciation or the the proper check of the quality work. So that's been there,
Right,
right?
right. Yeah, even there was a discussion I would like to highlight.
Yeah, please.
So right now, even although the companies are giving assurances, so India is like thinking of random audits or
Mhm.
random assurance anytime. Like for example, like just like there is a wing squad in examinations.
Yeah.
So that way, like any random audit committee might come, and if you are caught over there, if your data points are wrong, then there can be legal actions. So that's where India is also heading.
Yeah. And definitely India, means what I would say, as we have seen the CSR very closely, corporate social responsibility. So India was the first country to get it mandated for all the organizations uh, in the world. So India was the first country to mandate it. And at the same time, if you see the recent development from last 3 to 4 years in CSR, which is really great, how India is taking leadership and how we are trying to bring in transparency into CSR. So whether that is through the because earlier, yes, there were a lot of loopholes and many organizations tried to cheat into this entire schemes. But now government is also learning from that. And in the same way with the BRSR also, as we go ahead into implementation in next, let's say 2, 3, 4 years, we will get into more stringent laws. We will get into more transparency. We will learn from it, and definitely BRSR. We can look forward to it as one of the most comprehensive. At the same time, we bring in more transparency to all this reporting, making it wide for all the organizations across, not only restricted to some top organizations, but everyone. If you are a profit making organization or any organization for that sake, you have to have the sustainability reporting or BRSR reporting for that sake. What do others think about it? Please. We would also like to learn from you, and please don't hesitate to share your point of view. Please. Any question, any remark? And if you want to add, let's say specifically for EHS, environmental health and safety, so how are the other ways where they can contribute to the ESG? So I'd be glad to listen your experiences and your thought on this. Please.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, regarding EHS, I wanted to ask, like, is it mandatory for all companies to disclose EHS topics? And like in BRSR, is there any particular section where they have to report EHS?
Mhm. Yes. Anybody would like to take that question, please?
I try to add
Yeah, please.
in our organizations BRSR exercise. There is one part where the uh, plants safety related matrices need to report under health and safety. So additional to environmental and social, there is a health and safety related matrices for the performance of that particular year need to be report.
Yes. And yeah, so same point I'm just sharing on the screen. So as you rightly said, so in BRSR also there are many, they have to share what is the health or accident insurance. So insurance comes under safety. So there are many, as you can see, if I just search about health, so there are 15 times the word health has come into this BRSR reporting. And for your first question, whether EHS is required for the organization, yes, EHS is a mandatory for all the organizations to have it. Okay. So if the organization working or it is set up, so at initial time, the EHS is an essential part. Maybe Ajit ji can add more on the EHS, how it is mandatory for organizations. And as a BRSR, it's into picture. So yes, definitely in BRSR reporting format also, there are many common points of EHS. So how we are contributing towards environment, what are the health related indicators, how we are measuring it. Okay, and same with safety.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Anybody would like to add to this? Please, you can.
Do you mind me speaking again? It should not
Yeah,
become
please,
eccentric.
please
Yeah.
go ahead.
So let me tell you about myself right now, because right now I'm a consultant at EHS Guru Sustainable Solutions. So it's been just a month. I came here for experience only, and that's why I can say a few things about EHS definitely by looking
Please,
at the
please.
work around here. So the thing is like, as Dhananjay had shown the BRSR document. So for example, I will give you a little bit of perspective. Okay. So if you see like health in, like for example, if there would have been consider if there is like some kind of a malfunction or some employees get injured, so it even falls under the like, first of all there might be a governance failure over there, like, coming under the risk, like the risk where something is not in system, it's not operating. Secondly, if a person, for example, an insurer who is actually insuring for the company, he views the report and if the cases are high, he might not go for the insurance, so it's again a loss for the company. And obviously there are haphazards, and if a employee is actually looking at the report, he also might think twice, like should I join the company or not, because again his life it has risk and it's at stake. And not only coming to the ESG over here, but also a lot of compliances are needed to meet. And to be very frank with you, following again there are a lot of frameworks which fall under it. Then you have to go through it, then you have to analyze the risks, what are the risks, what can be changed, and it requires a lot of different audits, like fire safety audit can be required, electrical audits can be required, then work audits can be required, even at places, even for the like sound, like sound pollution, basically even the noise audits are required, like how we can mitigate. It's lot and lot technically, like the more you think the more it will be. And honest keynote to end is like, basically if you have a good employee and his healthcare is well managed, he will be with you for a long time, he will be a major asset for you. It's not only about the business, it's about the people who will create the business for you. That's the addition. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ideal case scenario where organizations are really taking care of the employees. Yeah.
Yes.
And just to add to the previous question, I guess Komaldeep had asked the question, right? It's regarding the EHS role, right? Or whether it is mandatory or not. So if you go to any, let's say, industrial area, and you can see outside of the organization, outside of the industry, all the pollution that is happening for the organization. So that is mentioned. Have you came across any board as such?
Not really.
Okay. Okay. So there are some rules as well for the organizations to display their all the pollutants, whatever is emitting from their premises, to the let's say outside of the organization. So in that way also you can see that is mandatory. And even with the let's say waste management, so how they are managing their sewage, managing their wastewater, whether they have treatment plants or not. So all this information they have to share. So these are the really mandated things for the organization, and these are taken really seriously. If organization is not following it, so they have to face the legal compliance and the action as well.
Got it. Thank you for the insights.
Thanks for asking. Anything you want to add, please, you can. We still have more 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Dhananjay, first I want to just compliment you on this amazing work that you're doing. It's really amazing because, while there is a lot of information out there, the nitty-gritties of actual implementation is what actually, these are the biggest roadblock for anybody. And I was wondering, I've been having some challenges doing the GHG accounting work, the creating the inventory. So my question, although it's not connected to what we are discussing here today, I was wondering if you could take up a session on where can we pick up the emission factors from, everything. And then, there are challenges such that, if you pick up the emission factors from the IPCC database, but the unit which is specified in the IPCC does not match with the unit that you are reporting in from. So, the factors are very, very small, minute, but, they kind of prevent you from actually doing the complete, accounting work. So,
All right. That's a great question. And just I guess last week, we had discussion on the same topic. It was GSG accounting. So
yeah,
we had
I heard the recording, but I still could not
okay.
answer. The
Okay.
question I had was not probably not listed. I went and saw the recording there because I thought, I was really struggling last week.
Mhm. Okay, so that question, in some sense, that was discussed, and even we have Dr. Suman as well, if I'm correct. Dr. Maruti Suman had joined the session, so he was the expert in the GHG accounting, and he shared a lot of resources into that. But yeah, so as your question is, how do we get the proper data? So that was really challenged. So that was discussed with many of the experts into the session. So they also told us the same thing, that it is a challenge with respect to getting the updated data. Okay. And at the same time, they had shared a couple of resources. So in that video recording, you can see many resources are there. So I guess that can be helpful. And
Okay.
even if anybody would like to answer this question, please, you can.
As I understand, in a GHG, there is a factor normally used metric ton of CO2 equivalent. But in BSR, the reporting, there is some other unit mentioned. So probably we need to have a factor to convert metric ton of CO2 to that equivalent factor. Part number one. And secondly, to accounting perspective, there are certain factor which we need to have annual basis. Central Electricity Authority publish data based on the grid factor. What I can say. So, for example, 1 kWh is equivalent to how much the GHG for that particular year. And year, as per our grid getting greener, the factor getting changed. So probably this two part of answer as far as the accounting related to BSR is concerned.
Yes, definitely. That is one way. But major question is where we can get all the updated information at one place. And there are a couple of suggestions from the expert in the last session, which were you don't have to get into expertise in every calculation. That is not expected as of now. Okay, so there are many solutions that are readily available. You just have to look in for the right kind of APIs, and nowadays everywhere the softwares are being used, or the technological solutions are being used. So you just need to find out the right kind of API instead of getting more into, let's say, how this one particular calculation came. So if you get into right API, which will source in all the required information. So that was one of the suggestion from the expert.
Okay, thank you. That kind of, I do get that idea. My Yeah, so if there is, I would just like to suggest that, if there is any initiative that is being made towards creating a common database for picking up the emission factors for various different types, and also where we can, have some sort of a conversion of units which can be easily, because there is information out there, but it's right now the state at which it is in, it's not really usable. It's not
Right.
very user friendly. And I think while we are living in the era of this, major technology, and user-friendly stuff available to us very easily. So this is something that everybody is, I think, struggling with, and
Yes.
myself included. So if there is any initiative that is being made, I would love to be a part of that, contribute in any which way possible.
Sure, sure. And even last session also, I was of the opinion that we will require to plan one more session. The reason being, we discussed all the things, but still the practical, maybe if we share any demo or if we share any with any case study. So this is the problem, and let's small part and follow all the procedures, so that will be clear to all, right?
Yeah,
So that is something that definitely we can look up to for next coming sessions, and I would also require your support as well
that
for
will
that. So
I'll
let's,
be happy to help in whichever way I can.
yeah. So let's connect and let's have the session. And even it's a request for all. If you would like to conduct any session or anything, please do connect with me so that we can plan a session which will be helpful for all of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank
That's great. Even we can actually, like as Ekta mentioned, like I guess we can like for the for the virtue of all, like we can create a toolkit basically. Like I guess that would be much better. Like usually I find people like asking over everywhere, like, do you have like document of this thing, that thing? At least if we can create some like somewhere any cloud storage or drive where the links or resources are available through an Excel sheet, like at a click access, like as you mentioned, it's very difficult and it's not user friendly to find, always go on a site and search. And
Right.
adding to Ekta's question, I understand that completely because recently even I did that ISO 14064 certification. So technically, a lot of factors affect, and it keeps on changing. For example, the fuels which we use. So even the ministry did change their decisions of mixing it with some other chemicals and all. So the density and all, it always keeps on changing, and the composition it might give out will change. So because of that, the even the ministry has to tap into it, and then definitely they have to update the emission factors. So how efficient, like not even the ministry consider, like each petrol pump they might be having some different things, so we might not get to a perfect scenario, but at least as you mentioned, Dhananjay, we at least need to start it, then only it will be on track. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely right, Sidesh. And I was looking at the IPCC database, and I could not find the e-waste. I don't know if I was doing something wrong. The emission factor for e-waste, there is a waste category there definitely, but the e-waste category is, I that's something that I could not find. So if anybody has any insights on that, I would be, it'll be great help. Oh, there is a separate department there. No, under the database.
Just a minute. We'll just try to search if we could get.
Yeah, the basic search, this one.
Just a
From
minute.
here, I was picking up yeah. So there is waste category.
Solid waste. You want which waste or
E-waste,
e-waste?
electronic waste. The emissions of electronic waste.
Okay, just a minute. Plastic waste. No,
Yeah.
this is not the same, right?
Hmm.
But at least plastic is there. We can check other options. Phenol. So I guess all these are plastics only. What
Yeah,
I can see.
exactly. So the
Yeah.
e-waste category is a big factor for any organization at the moment.
Mhm.
But yeah, could not find out.
Yeah. Yes, agree. So e-waste is not there, but what I can see from here, so
Mm-hmm.
all these factor, other type they have given, na?
Yeah.
Other, please specify. So they have also specified with the kind of plastic or the material that they have used.
Mm-hmm.
So for example,
So,
material
and
recovery
when,
from plastic waste. Okay.
yeah. So that's one part of it. And when you look at the values, if it's giving me a 0 to 27, what am I supposed to, what is the factor there?
Mhm.
What am I supposed to use as, and
Yeah.
there are a lot of, multiple numbers being given there. And it doesn't really give me one emission factor, even if I do find the right category. The emission factor is not usable as such.
Mhm. So maybe we have to check whether is there any other source or way through which we can get it.
Yes. Yeah.
And have you checked downloading this resource as well, right?
Yes,
So
yes. I have
okay.
downloaded
This
it.
is the same thing.
The
Okay.
same thing, exporting to an Excel sheet. I've used it, and I have used the filter option there to find what I'm looking for. But yeah, so there it is a struggle there.
Agree.
You mind sharing? Let me share my screen. I have one document, Excel, which I got through one of the courses.
Yeah,
Just give-
please. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if you are aware of this document. Are you, Ekta?
No, but here I think I have something like this.
Okay.
Okay, there are conversion factors, but if
Yes.
you go
Yes.
to the are there emission factors given here? Or because
Wait.
I
I'll
have
show you.
documents which are kind of blank. I mean, I do not have the emission.
Okay.
So
Wait.
I'll really
See.
appreciate if you can share this with me.
Sure. I will share. No issues. I don't have any problem. See here.
Thank you. That'll be great.
So I don't know like how emission factors I cannot
Yeah,
the material production. It's not here as such, but at least the criterias over they have given over here. Somewhat of the thing, open loop, closed loop.
yeah. I mean, you can share it. I don't know if it'll
Sure.
be, yeah,
Yes.
if
Sure.
the emission factors I can pick from here or not, but I can definitely try.
Definitely. I don't mind sharing it. It's open source only. Let me share. So should I share in the group? Is I guess restricted, right? I will
Um,
share it in the chat.
Uh,
Give me
yeah,
a
or
minute.
you can share with me. Okay. So I'll
Sure, I
put
will
it
share
in
it in
group.
this chat only. No issues.
Okay, sure.
Just
Perfect.
give a second. Yeah, it's uploading.
Okay, great. So next time maybe we can take one case story and we will try to do it as a standard process to understand how we
that'd
can.
be great.
Yeah.
Is anyone from Pune here? By any chance?
Uh,
Yes,
no.
I am from Pune.
Oh, glad. Most probably next month I will be in Pune.
Yeah, let's try to meet. I work for Cummins India,
Yes.
and my plant is in Kothurud.
Okay, I will be maybe in Shivaji Nagar only because I am joining as a ESG like sustainability lead as a ESG catalyst in TBL services, consultancy services. So I will be in Pune only.
Okay, let's try to catch up if possible.
The definitely.
Yeah.
The file has been uploaded. If you can download, please see.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I think I
Thanks a
can.
lot.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yeah,
no
perfect.
issues.
So this was really great session in terms of collaboration and uh, sharing point of view of each other. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much everyone for joining and adding value to this discussion. I'll stop this recording now. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you
have
so